Welcome to Jazara for Dummies. Let's look at today's news from Professor William Liebenberg, prepared by Martin Stein. Please like, share and subscribe. Join our Telegram group in the comments below. Thank you. Let's go. Payment systems. Tokenized Treasuries, go live on the XRPL. Ondo Finances, OUSG, unlocks institutional access with seamless mint and redemptions, via Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. Tokenization is no longer a concept confined to white papers and pilot programs. Instead, it is set to reinvent global financial infrastructure. Asset tokenization will turn static assets into dynamic, programmable tools, and pave the way for a $19 trillion market by 2033. A new era for tokenized U.S. Treasuries, RLUSD, will serve as the bridge asset to unlock cross-market utility. Bet you didn't see XRPL becoming the go-to for tokenized assets. BlackRock backing, 24/7 accessibility, and minting through RLUSD. This is textbook disruption. Institutions can't ignore this anymore. On-chain finance just leveled up with the best liquidity on the market. USDC is officially coming to the XRP ledger. This is massive for institutional-grade liquidity. DeFi expansion on XRPL. Real-world settlement speed with stablecoin stability. XRP just got a stablecoin supercharge. The rails are set. Adoption is next. USDC is a cryptocurrency stablecoin, which is issued by Circle. It is pegged to the US dollar, and is distinct from a central bank digital currency, CBDC. Ripple and Circle are bringing the fully reserved, one-to-one, backed stablecoin to the XRPL, accelerating DeFi and institutional adoption. XRP, set for Breakout, as Japan's Megabank, backs XRP Ledger. XRP is gaining strong momentum as Japan's SBI Group deepens its Ripple partnership, backing stablecoin RLUSD, and expanding XRP's ecosystem use cases. SBI Group confirms 9% Ripple stake, backing XRP in cross-border remittance and NFT use cases. XRP technical setup suggests a breakout is near. The crucial things to end all. SEC/Ripple case. The Genius Act. The Stablecoin Bill. Trump's cryptocurrencies regulations. Basel III. Bretton Woods Agreement 3. ISO 2002. These are linked to crucial dates in 2025. Let's swatch.
Some big dates coming up in the next 6 months. Let's start with number 1. Starting from the top, we got June 16th. 2025 is the end of the 60-day pause in the Ripple versus SEC case to explore a potential settlement. Number 2, July 14th, USA Fedwire Funds Service deadline. And then we got number 3, the summer or fall of 2025, the Genius Act. A final vote is hopefully going to be expected. And then we have number 4, September 30th, 2025. All United States federal agencies to stop issuing paper checks and switch to electronic payments, including direct deposit and real-time methods wherever possible. Number 5, October 9th, Europe must start sending instant payments. Number 6, we have October 18th to 19th, 2025, the Securities and Exchange Commission deadline to decide on Grayscale XRP Trust and 21 shares core XRP Trust ETFs. Let's see what happens there. And then we have a massive date in November. All financial institutions must be using SWIFT for cross-border payments or must fully adopt ISO 20022 globally. MT messages will be discontinued. This is going to be big. So, as of December 2025, ISO 20022 is expected to become the global standard for financial
had emerged from World War II as a global economic superpower. The Bretton Woods Agreement placed the U.S. and the Fed in a central position in the global economy. Our mission then, as it is now, was to serve the American people. But it was clear at that moment that the Fed needed to have better knowledge of global developments to achieve our dual mandate goals. A 1948 memo proposing to create the division stated, quoting, "Problems of international economics and finance have become increasingly large, complex, and significant in recent years, and our foreign economic relations will undoubtedly continue to give rise to issues of the first magnitude." That rare economic forecast that has turned out to be spot on. 75 years later, it remains critical that the Fed understand the policies and practices of other governments and central banks and their implications for the U.S. economy and for financial markets.
It's coming.
Well, this has been a long time coming, and a lot of negotiations have gone on to get this bill to this point where we had a strong bipartisan vote last night. We look forward to sending this bill to the House so the U.S. can establish itself as the country that has adopted the most advanced, forward-thinking digital asset policy in the world. It's something President Trump supports. It's something that we are dedicated to because the digital asset industry is already embedded in our country and worldwide. And we need to have something that preserves a dual banking system, that recognizes the U.S. dollar through our U.S. Treasuries as the important global asset that they are and continues to be, as Senator Haggerty says, the impetus for our being the global world reserve.
I have an executive order for your attention relating actually to government payments. Historically, checks issued by the Treasury are, I believe, 14 times more likely to become the subject of fraud than electronic transfer payments. This is an executive order that's going to push the Treasury Department to modernize its payment system to ensure that where possible they're using electronic methods of payment as opposed to paper checks in order to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, which is obviously an endeavor that we've been pursuing in numerous aspects of government under your leadership.
It's basically modernization of equipment and methods, and it's something that really I think he's going to be a great Secretary of the Treasury wanted, Scott, and so we're doing this, and we have other modernization programs going on. We could let somebody else, whoever's next, whoever that may be, do it, but it's something that should have been done 25, 30 years ago. Okay.
In exactly 1 month, July 14th, Fedwire will experience the Big Bang, ISO 20022 migration weekend. Why it is important for banks to prepare for this second attempt: they use this for important payments, like buying houses, and transfers cannot be undone. Yesterday, DPS, Grupa, reported on a new update to the Fed's very detailed migration guide, which also addresses contingency plans in case of failure. From individual guidelines on the safeguards to be taken, complete with screenshots, to the availability of emergency liquidity, the Fedwire Fund system clearly wants to ensure that the migration goes smoothly this time. XRP is the best coin for liquidity and scalability. Let's swatch.
XRP is like a Bitcoin. It's a digital asset. It's today the third most valuable digital asset. And what we do is we take a transaction between banks, and instead of having a bank pre-fund an account at the other bank, which is how correspondent banking works today. The Bank of Brad in dollars would pre-fund to the Bank of Julia, perhaps in pounds, and then I would debit and credit that. But that means I have to pre-fund and have dormant capital sitting at that other bank. What we allow banks to do, we allow payment providers to do, is to tap into the liquidity of XRP liquidity. So today there's lots of liquidity between XRP and US dollar. There's lots of liquidity between XRP and British pound. And you could tap into that to move value in real time, in seconds. And even compared to Bitcoin, which takes up to 12 minutes to complete one transaction, XRP is extremely fast at about 3 seconds per transaction. That has meant XRP is extremely scalable in contrast to how Bitcoin works. The consumer itself doesn't actually see that it's flowing through XRP to solve the problem. What the consumer sees is simply a better product at a better price. And so we're seeing more momentum than we've ever had around using XRP to move this liquidity around the world. And so we couldn't really be happier about how that has played out in a world where there's still a lot, I think, of FUD, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt about what's going on in crypto. This is a real use.
De-dollarization is picking up speed. The fiat USD's share of global reserves has dropped 10% points in just 5 years, hitting a 30-year low. Meanwhile, gold's share has doubled to 23%, also a 30-year high. Global reserve managers are clearly shifting. Gold holds a unique place in human culture. The desire of gold is not for gold, it is for the means of freedom and benefit. God, gold, and the army will liberate us. Welcome to June 14th. We only have a country because we first had an army. After 250 years, we still proudly declare that we are free because you are strong. We're safe because you are brave, and America's flag will never fall because America's army will never, ever fail. President Trump.
This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
Show us some love by liking our videos and leave us a short comment on your thoughts. Thank you.